Disclaimer, if you are looking for someone to talk you out of getting this surgery, then this is not the video for you, because I recommend all women get it. If you're unhappy about your body, anything that you don't like, anything that you want to fix, anything like that, plastic surgery. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. This is video 3 of my whole BBL series. I highly recommend that you watch these in chronological order to, you know what I'm saying, get the full experience. But anyway, we're going to get into my flight and checking into my doctor's office. So, like I said, Mia Aesthetics opened an office in Austin, Texas. So somebody, you might end up going there. I don't really recommend the drive. I mean, you're not going to be able to sit on your butt, so you're going to have to lay down, which is uncomfortable in the back seat. You know, your feet, your knees are going to be all on the other seat. Just, I don't know. I didn't do it. I don't know. So I went to Miami. This was before they opened their office in Austin. So I flew via Southwest. I left very, very early in the morning. Got there fairly early in the morning. Yeah, so they say Miami, but it's really in like Doral, D-O-R-A-L, Florida. It's like right outside of Miami. So I flew into Fort Lauderdale because Southwest doesn't fly into Miami directly. And I had my luggage with me. I took my luggage to the doctor. So I had to pay for my Uber from the airport to Mia Aesthetics. Because I was staying at the recovery house, I did have transportation, but the transportation that they provided did not start until I checked into my recovery house. So checked into my doctor. So I had to get to my doctor, and then from there, they picked me up from the doctor, and then all the transportation was with my recovery house. So I Ubered straight to the office. I took my luggage with me. I didn't have to drop my luggage off anywhere, and that's completely fine because people travel from all over to go to Mia Aesthetics. So you're not gonna look crazy if you roll in there with your luggage. Like, it's normal. Everyone had their luggage. Checked into my doctor. The pre-op took a while. Something to add to your to-do list if you're traveling, you know, out of state or whatever. You know, obviously you got to tell your bank, that way they don't like cut your card off because they think it's fraud. Something else you need to do is raise your spending limit per day. So my balance that I paid the day of was like it had to be 3,000 something because it was over my limit. So we had an issue with that. And the day that I went, my bank was closed that day. So I could not, because I banked with a credit union at the time, I could not make my payment that day or something like that. It was kind of fishy. So raise your spending limit and make sure you tell your bank that you're going to be out of town. Yeah, the pre-op, it just took a while. Like, even me and one of the other girls even went into one of the private rooms and took before and after pictures of each other, because I flew in one morning, I checked into my recovery house that day, and I had my surgery that next morning. Like, I took my payment, I got my BBL pillow, and I don't recommend you get the one that they have. I'm not sure if they have new ones now, but the one that I got, and I even asked them, hey, is it the round one? Is it the one with this? Is it the one with yeah. Get there, and the shit is made of like cardboard, like freaking rocks. Like, I still haven't used it, but I refuse to give it up because I paid so much for it. It came in the package. But get your own pillow, or get them to send you a picture of their pillow that they have now. If it's not the blue rectangular one, then you may be good. If it's the blue rectangular one, do not get that one. Don't get it. Don't get it. It's not comfortable. I've never used it. I'm not going to use it for anything. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. It's around here somewhere. So the pre-op took a while. Then they tell you what time to come the next morning. They give you your soap or whatever that you have to bathe with, your antibacterial soap that you have to bathe with the next morning. That's it. Oh, they give you your prescription. So my prescription was I got nausea medication. I got Percocets, nausea medication, Percocets, ibuprofen, and antibiotics. So, and I take like 3 antibiotics a day or something like that. So they give you your prescription, they tell you what time to come the next morning, and they give you your antibacterial soap, and then they call your recovery house for them to come in and pick you up. So the recovery house came to pick me up. They came in like a minivan, went to drop our prescriptions off. So I did not have insurance at the time. I stopped working at my full-time job. I didn't have insurance at the time, so I was self-pay on everything. And all my medication, total, Percocets, ibuprofen, nausea medication, antibiotics, all that was no more than $200. And it was something that I signed up for, I think, while I was there. It was like out of state something. It was something that somebody told me about there, and I ended up getting it a little bit cheaper. Filled my medication and went and checked in at the recovery house. So I was iffy about the whole recovery house situation, but I was willing to give it a try because I went by myself. I didn't have anybody go with me to get my surgery. I went by myself. I was like, I felt comfortable with it because I also got a hotel. So if at any point I was getting tired of my recovery house, I got a hotel anyway, you know what I'm saying? Or if I liked it, cool, but I'm gonna go be in my own space at my hotel. So the recovery house was cool. It wasn't like a women's home. Like, they had a bunch of rooms, they had a bunch of bathrooms. We weren't all over each other trying to use the same things, anything like that. The ladies cooked for us, and they could cook really good. Like, their English was really broken, but they knew how to take care of you. So I ended up, it was me and another girl in the room the night of my, I'm lying. It was me and 2 other girls the night of my surgery. The night before I got my surgery. It was this girl from Atlanta. That girl was so country, man, but she was so hilarious. And it was another girl who both of them already had their surgery. And then it was me, and we were in a room of 5 beds, so we all had a bed in between us. One of the girls wasn't bleeding at all. She didn't have like any issues. And then the girl from Atlanta, she was leaving that next morning when I was going to get my surgery. So the lady dropped us off to go get our surgery, and then took her to the airport. So that night I couldn't eat anything after midnight, and then I had to wake up and take my shower and then head to my surgery. So be mindful, I'm going to be clipping in like videos from the actual surgery. So we are on our way. Fanta, say hey. Hey, Snap. We're on our way. I don't know how I feel, but that's how I'm gonna be sitting.
Face down, ass up, goddamn. That's the way her ass gonna be fucked up. Because she gonna be fucked up.
She dropped us off. I ended up clicking real well with this lady, Fanta. She was from Dallas. So me and her clicked real well. And because I'm from Texas. I don't even know if I mentioned that. I'm from Texas. It went by fast. Like, checking, like, your pre-op takes a while. But getting in there for your surgery is like, it happens so fast. Oh my God. Like, it's so crazy. I would do it all over again. I was just like talking about it. I'm so excited. So we got there. They put us in a room. They put me in a room where we had to change, where I had to change into, you know, put my hair in a net, gown, compression stockings to help with, you know, blood circulation, blood clots and stuff. Okay. I'm so nervous, y'all. I'm so nervous. So I'm here. They just brought me to the back. They're about to do my IV. I had to give them some urine, but I couldn't because nobody told me to hold it. I just like went to the bathroom or whatever. So I'm about to put my stuff in this bag and I'm about to go. So the guy just came and did my IV, and when I tell you that was the most painful IV I've ever had, but I think the needle was really, really big. But so I'm all changed. Here's my IV. To me, like, the IV is the worst part. Like, I can't deal with needles. I can have children, I can do all that, but I cannot deal with needles. So I guess the worst part is over with. Yeah, so I had to pee when I got there in a cup, but I couldn't because I just freaking peed. So be mindful. Don't pee when you wake up. You're gonna have to pee again when you get there. I guess it's like a last minute pregnancy thing. They came in, they did my IV. The IV was the worst part. I hate needles. I've never been able to deal with needles. And I had my first child without an epidural, and I could deal with the pain of having a child, all natural, but I can't deal with getting shots. It's crazy. That needle was really, really thick. Like the IV was the worst part for me. And I waited a couple minutes, and then Dr. Alvarez came in, and he was like, so what do you want? I remember telling him, I want as much ass as my thighs can handle. Oh my god. And it's so funny because I keep talking about all this, but like my butt isn't even that big. Well, I don't think it's that big. People tell me it looks, it ain't too much. I'm gonna show y'all. I was like, I want it as big as my thighs can handle. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, like if it is not proportionate to my thighs, I don't want it. But whatever my thighs can handle, I want all that. So they rolled me into the room, and they were in there. They were playing like bachata music or like some kind of Hispanic, Mexican music, and they were just vibing. And it was almost scary because it's like, why y'all not quiet? Like, y'all not taking it seriously. But I was more anxious than anything. Like, I wasn't scared. I wasn't nervous. I had my boobs done before, so I've already been under for surgery. But one thing, since having my boobs done, I learned that if this is your first time going under for surgery, that don't panic when you wake up. When I had my boobs, the worst thing I did was wake up, and it was a lot of pressure on my chest because obviously my chest was swollen. I just got surgery up here. So I woke up like feeling like I couldn't breathe. It felt like somebody was sitting on my chest. So I started panicking. And I had to calm myself down. This was all in my head too, because I wasn't even saying this out loud. I just had to calm myself down and be like, girl, you just had surgery. Like, breathe. Like, you know. So that's one thing I was trying to be mindful of for when I, you know, was getting this surgery, because this was going to be whole body, not whole body, but this was going to be more than just boobs. Laid on the bed, and the anesthesiologist, like, he gave me the anesthesia, and I was under, like, less than 30 seconds. Like, I'm a lightweight. I was under less than 30 seconds. Like, I was out of there, because I remember he was like, oh, what do you do for a living? And I was like, oh, I'm a bartender. And I was out of there. Like, I remember feeling it take over my body. It's crazy. And I woke up. The first thing I remember was being in a wheelchair. I don't remember them getting me out of the bed. It does feel like somebody dropped you off of a bed when you first wake up. Like, did y'all drop me on the floor while you were flipping me over to do the other side? Like, what is going on? But it wasn't bad enough to, I would do it all over again. Woke up in a wheelchair, and I was like, oh my god, like, this was again all in my head. I could barely talk, but this was all in my head. And I remember, like, oh my god, why am I in a wheelchair? Like, I'm not supposed to be sitting down. But how else are they going to get you from the room to your ride, you know? And they had pillows and blankets. Like, it was really, really fluffed up. They put me and another girl in the back of the van, and we headed to the recovery house. Alrighty, y'all, so that was getting to Miami, checking into my doctor's office, checking into my recovery house, the morning of my surgery, getting my surgery, and waking up for my surgery. So if you have not watched the other videos prior to this one, I suggest you do that. And if you want to get into the whole recovery process, watch the next video.